So thank you so much, everyone. Big welcome to all of you for our TikTok masterclass for publishers featuring Talia. Super excited that you're all here and you're looking forward to the Frankfurter Buchmesse. I'm James. I'm leading brand partnerships for lifestyle and education at TikTok for the last year and a half. And presenting with me today is Lisa. If you want to say a quick hi.
Yeah, good to have you all here. I'm Lisa. I'm working at Talia as a social media manager, and I'm looking forward to tell you something about the success story of Talia at TikTok.
Awesome. So let's dive in. Just a quick heads up, because we've many publishers on the call, that you can all collaborate with TikTok in some way. If you have an account or you want to promote or you want to run marketing campaigns, this is basically the TikTok team that take care of BookTok and all the education aspects and that go with it. And basically, we're a team that collaborate with brands and also publishers. And yeah, we do media partnerships and content teams. So this is basically the face of the team that can support you if you ever need to contact us. The agenda today is to give an intro to TikTok, perhaps also to do a bit of myth busting, how the app has evolved over the last 3 years. I can't believe it's only 3 years it's around in Europe. We want to dive into the BookTok revolution. The part I'm most excited for is the case study we have today with Lisa on Talia's success over the last 12 months, which puts into all of the best practices into play. And then we have a quick interview with questions for Lisa. And then we also have a Q&A where you can ask questions. And there may also be other times where you can participate in the presentation. So keep your eyes peeled. So TikTok for publishers. I think one thing, if you're going to take away anything today from today's presentation, is you need to understand that TikTok is revolutionizing the way readers engage, share, and discover content, and also how they get influenced to buy books. The BookTok revolution is really behind this, and this is powered by a massive community. And when we look at entertainment, I'd like to also do the first myth bust. TikTok is not social media. It's an entertainment platform. Our biggest competitors would be along the lines of Netflix and YouTube. And we have grown massively. We have now 1 billion users across the globe. 150 million of them are in Europe, and that's across 150 countries. So maybe keep that in mind for the rest of the presentation. Entertainment platform, not social media. And I think maybe we can connect the dots. Entertainment is that connects. So as people are evolving how they consume and engage with content, entertainment is becoming more at the forefront. We're coming from maybe a more of a static, maybe more about images in the past, and now we can clearly see video across all platforms is really key. So I think the one thing what makes TikTok stand out is it's always full screen and sound on. Like other platforms, there's not other distractions. You can't really click on someone else's profile, or there's no pop-up to click on another window, or things like that. So when you look at the app, it's full screen sound on. It only works when you have the user's full attention, and you have to understand that this is a really fascinating way, an opportunity for a user, but also if you're a publisher and you want to promote something, if you do an advertisement, for example, you have the person's full attention. The videos are short form, so they're small bites of entertainment. Maybe some of you have joked in the past or heard, people are finding TikTok quite addictive. And we find that people are getting more and more used to snackable content, and they will go through a lot of small bites of video entertainment in one session on the app. And the last thing what TikTok stands for is community. Without the communities on the app would be absolutely nothing. It would be absolutely useless. How the app evolves and how the new things you can do with the tools for creation and so on are all coming from the reactions of the community, whether they're talking about books or they're talking about food. This is really dictating how our app develops as a product. And what's really going back to the myth busting of, you know, social media versus entertainment. I think we come from a social graph. We we check who we follow, let's say on other platforms on social media, but on TikTok, it decides what you see. So it's more of a content graph. And my TikTok will look totally different to Lisa's TikTok feed. And I think maybe Ed Sheeran, maybe you know him, might be able to explain this better than I can.
Do the dances and stuff.
No, but this is what I've learned about TikTok. Everyone assumes TikTok is dancing.
It's not.
But it's not. It's not. TikTok is whatever your interest is. So if my interest is cooking, there's cooking TikToks. There's a bloke that cleans pools that has like 3 million followers. You know, like TikTok is just, you find an interest and it's there for you. And that's what I like about it. Because I think before I knew about TikTok, I was just like, oh, it's the dancing thing. But it's like, I don't think I see any dancing on my TikTok ever.
I see a lot of dancing.
That's because you watch a lot of dancing. Yeah, just.
Exactly. So what's really interesting is we think back to when the engineers wanted to create this app. They thought on a content graph rather than a social graph. They thought to themselves, maybe, why do we need to follow all the pages in order to see the content we want to see or that we like? Why can't we open an app that already knows what we want to see, and the algorithm kind of decides what we see in our feed? And that's been copied now already on other platforms already, but that's where it originated from. And we find this really, really powerful, and it's really good at understanding what you want to see. So people don't check TikTok, they watch it. You check who you follow maybe on social media, but on TikTok, when you open it, the algorithm already kind of knows what's your interest, and also even knows what to introduce in terms of topics maybe you didn't realize you're interested in. This is also where it gets very interesting. One other amazing comparison is with other platforms is how much time is spent on TikTok. You would imagine with a shorter video length that it would seem that maybe other platforms would have more time spent per day, but TikTok is by far ahead of, for example, YouTube, a much longer video format. TikTok is usually 10 to 30 seconds long. It's quite amazing that there is more minutes spent globally and also on a local level in DACH on our app compared to YouTube. And also what's very, very interesting, if you're thinking now as a publisher, okay, I don't have any account, I've never really advertised, let's say. If we talk about reaching new people, you need to think about the incremental reach that's possible on TikTok. So for example, 9% of our users are not on YouTube. 55% of them on TikTok are not on Facebook. 35% of our users are not on Instagram. So there's people out there on TikTok right now who are already maybe even aware of you as a publisher, or maybe already aware of the author or book that could be promoted, but they'll never see it because you're not able to target them on other channels because they've simply migrated to TikTok only. And I find that really fascinating. And yeah, you know, it really kind of paints a picture. And maybe that's something surprising for a lot of people to see in terms of how we're kind of compared to other channels. And then when we come back to the community, it's very diverse and inclusive. The For You feed, which is what you see when you scroll, is so tailored to what you're interested in. It goes from animals to books. I mean, going back to what Ed Sheeran said, there's BookTok, but there's also Clean Talk, yeah? And there's one big guy on there, he just cleans swimming pools. Like, how niche is that? But he's got 4 million followers. So what I'm trying to say is, no matter how niche you think a topic is, yeah, there will be a community and an audience big enough to be there waiting and look at that content, which I find really, really fascinating. And that is driven by these communities. So I have a little game for us. Based on what we've just shown you, if you could just put in the chat box, if you could guess where dancing and singing ranked in 2022 on TikTok, in top 10. Let's say there's out of top 10, where do you think dancing ranked? Do you think it was the most popular category of video, or do you think it was the least popular? pick between 1 and 10. Okay. I see. Okay, I see a lot of number 2, number 1, 3. Someone said 7. Okay. Let's reveal. So we're still associated with this a lot, and it is where we started. We started, obviously, every app starts with a niche. Gen Z, young people, dancing, miming. That's where it came from, but now it's completely evolved. And actually, a couple of you said 8, so well done. It was actually number 8, but usually people get that wrong. Usually we don't show them the other info I just showed you beforehand. If we show them this is the first slide in today's talk, I think the answers would be slightly different. But of course, it's still part of the community. It's still part of what the audience is interested in. But I think it's a lot of people still think it's just young people dancing. And of course, it came from that. But every app started maybe with the cool kids. And then it gets much more mature, and it's available for people in all ages, which is the case today. And now I just want to mention BookTok, because this has been a complete revolution. This has been basically, BookTok describes the community of creators, publishers, readers, you name it, coming together, and how that all connects, and how that has maybe perhaps encouraged more people to read, got people back reading again, getting people in a better lifestyle by reading, you name it, or learning something new. So all of that has been really, really fascinating. And you can see here from some of the articles over the years, which are off the app, which are in The Guardian, the Mail Online, the Financial Times, talking about how TikTok, for example, on Black Friday, has managed to sell out books way in advance for Christmas. Publishers can't restock enough books because one creator on the app started really talking a lot about a certain book. My favorite example is, in this case, in the Financial Times, we had a book where the book was actually released in 2017, but it got popular, but it kind of stabilized. But then in 2022, some people started talking about it on BookTok, and the book sold more books than it ever did, even though it came out 5 years before that. So that's the power of the app, and that's the power of the community being engaged. And things like that are very typical on TikTok. Things can blow up. And in terms of the BookTok genres, we have 185 billion views on just the hashtag of BookTok. It spreads across so many different views on different genres of books, and really the list goes on, and these numbers are constantly going up. And here you actually see how the hashtag has been used more and more over the period. So you can see from all the way back over the last 3 years, you can see we've got 439 posts which have included the hashtag BookTok. There's many probably book posts which have not used the hashtag, but just even using the hashtag, you can see 439,000 posts. That's 19 million globally. And in terms of views, it's 5 billion views in the last year in Germany of people who have seen this hashtag associated with reading, of course. And globally, it's 128 billion. So it's pretty massive, and that's really kind of showing how big this community is and how much opportunity there is for all of you if you're trying to be positioned in front of readers. And what do people search for? So the community, when I say community, I'm talking about the users who maybe are searching for or discovering something. So book recommendations are massive. People are really putting their trust in creators / influencers on the app who are, really credible for a certain genre of recommending books. People love behind the scenes on TikTok. We had a really funny TikTok this year where they got the author to see how many autographs they could do. I don't know if it was 24 hours, that seems long, but I think it was like in 6 hours, how many copies could he sign of his own book? And then people won those signed copies. So he was just in a back room of a shop signing away, and they had him on live video on TikTok. Like, that's kind of the crazy things what can happen, and really gets people engaged. And then live content, people literally reading paragraphs, reading quotes, maybe reading a whole book. Yeah, people do live videos for a long time, and people tune in, and there is people who are just, we have it on Audible and we have it on these other platforms where people like to listen. People are using live content on TikTok for that same approach. People will just listen to someone reading in the evening at home. So we think that's really amazing. And these are some of the creators / influencers. So we don't really use the word influencer on TikTok. We use the word creator. Because our mission is to inspire creativity and bring joy. The app is also really powerful at allowing and enabling people to be creative. And I think this is where this concept comes from. And these are some of the people we have in our book club, which we'll talk about later. Highly recommend you check them out. They're all German based, and they've been really amazing at promoting books and reading. If you wanted to start doing advertising, we do offer in my department how to approach marketing objectives. So this is a completely other masterclass, but just to give you an idea, TikTok can be a marketing channel that can focus on building awareness, but it can also be a very powerful channel at driving performance and selling books. And also going beyond that and retargeting and really intensifying loyalty from readers and people who would buy from you again. And we basically cover the full purchasing funnel, which I won't go into detail today, but cover a lot of different ad formats that cover many different objectives and all the objectives and needs you would possibly need to be successful. And just to give you a taste of what some of those are, our top view placement is the first ad you would see when you open the app. It's skippable after 3 seconds, and it's basically our billboard placement. It's the most premium, the most expensive, because the reason is you're reaching maybe a whole country. Maybe you can target all the users in Germany, for example, to make a big bang. So that's our big bang feature, which focuses on awareness. Top feed is the 4th video you scrolled around through, and this is more focusing on consideration and engagement. And then our in-feed ads, which are the performance ones, are the ads which you won't realize they're an ad, because you'll see maybe some examples in a minute. When you advertise on TikTok, especially in the lower funnel, you can't use an ad you've used on Instagram or somewhere else. It has to look native. It must, like, our best performing device for recording is an iPhone. If people feel that it's too perfect or too well produced, people skip it. So in the feed, it's very interesting. And of course, we have many interactive add-ons where we can get people to be directed to your landing pages or website and complete a full customer journey. And the targeting options, we can be very specific with age, gender, interests, of course, geographically, language, and even based on their devices. And we also recommend, if you're a new publisher doing marketing, that you should consider being broad. You should always remember you're on a new platform. It's not a continuation of what you've done already on other channels and social media or how you've tested there. That is very important to remember when you start on TikTok, especially when we take into account the level of incremental reach and the amount of users who may have not seen you in a while because they're only on TikTok in the last couple of years. Awesome. So, sorry for talking so much. I'm now going to hand it over to Lisa. And this is one of my favorite parts because this brings everything to life what I spoke about just now. And yeah, Lisa, over to you.
Thank you very much, James. Yeah, let's dive a little into the campaign we realized with TikTok. Yeah. I think probably all of you know Talia, so I don't want to bore you with too many details, but we are Germany's largest assortment bookseller. And what many don't know is that we also have a wide range in the area of toys, gifts, trends, living, and our own exclusive collections. There are now over 350 bookstores in the DACH region with more than 6,000 employees. And our mission is to have non-readers and spread the love of books. This is what we achieve with our omnichannel strategy, which extends from our bookstores to the website, to the app, social media, events, and beyond. And what does this look like on TikTok? I hope you all know our account and follow it. Otherwise, I would urge you to do this now. On our channel, there's a lot of book love, book talk. Yeah, we love to interact with our young creative community, and we try to create content that book nerds understand and that they feel entertained by. And yeah, we have been doing TikTok since August 2022 and started over 1 year ago. And if we have a look at the numbers on this slide, I think we can say with great success. What's our mission on TikTok? One of our main goals is to maximize brand awareness, especially among the young target groups. And another goal is the community building. We would like to generate and inspire loyal brand fans. We want to interact and engage with them, and that they engage and interact with our content. And the last goal, which may seem a little unusual for TikTok, is to drive conversions. Maybe you think TikTok is more like top level in comparison to other platforms, but I won't tell you too much when I tell you we did it, and how we got there, I will tell you now. We started the book club campaign in March and April 2022. You may ask, what is the book club campaign? Imagine a room where you discuss about your books every month with some people you know, but in digital, on TikTok. You're on TikTok, you can exchange your thoughts about the books and comment the videos of the creators. There were 5 of them who discussed about the book, and yeah, the community was able to vote which book is discussed in the book club, as you can see on the right side on the in-app landing page. And during our collaboration, we were present on this in-app landing page too, and we got the 5 creators in contact with us. James already showed a few of them, and yeah, they produce content for the book club, for their channels, and also for our channel at Talia. Yeah, both months we started and ended with a big bang. We started with a top view. We will show you one of them later. And we ended with live events out from our bookstores. And then there was a brandless study where we get to know how the community sees our brand during the campaign, after the campaign. Yeah, let's dive into the creatives directly. This is the top view of Talia.
Leute, Talia ist jetzt einfach mit im Book Club. Nochmal eine kurze Erklärung, was der Book Club eigentlich ist. Im Book Club lesen wir pro Monat ein Buch und posten dann zu diesem Buch Videos unter den Hashtags Book Club und Hashtag BookTok. Wir diskutieren ein bisschen und tauschen uns einfach aus und ihr, die Community, könnt immer gerne mitmachen. Gehostet wird das Ganze von 5 Creatoren, und zwar von Chris, Charlotte, Bengel, Vanessa und mir. Und Talia, die übrigens mein Lieblingsbuchladen sind, im Ernst, Leute, gehören jetzt einfach dazu. Also ich freue mich mega auf die nächsten Wochen des Austauschens, des Lesens und das jetzt einfach mit Talia zusammen.
Yes, she explains a little bit what the book club is and how you can take part as a community member. Now we would like to show you a conversion video of Charlotte. It's quite funny.
Boah, es regnet Katzen und Hunde. Was? Katzen und Hunde? Manche Sachen funktionieren einfach viel besser in der Originalsprache. Deswegen lese ich auch einfach so gerne auf Englisch. Wenn ihr das auch macht, dann schaut mal hier auf der Seite von Talia vorbei, weil hier gibt es nämlich richtig vielen originalen Lesestoff.
Yes, all about raining cats and dogs and reading in original, in the original books. Yeah. Why did our campaign creators perform so well? James mentioned it before, but we choose a mix of creator videos and self-produced content, so just like on our organic channel. And we have collaborated with great creators that are already familiar to the BookTok community. And I think the most important part is our ads do not look like ads. They fit natively into the user feeds. They are not just like ads, but add value to the users. Yeah. And as you can see on this slide, it worked. We have achieved more than 60 million impressions, more than tripled our followers, and increased our likes by 1.8 times. In addition, our CPA has been 200% lower compared to benchmarks and the CPM by 60%. In our live events, there were over 1.5 million views and a 1.6% engagement rate. Here you can see a video of Charlotte. I would like to show it to you too.
Es gibt richtig coole Book Club Nachrichten. Und zwar ist meine Lieblingsbuchhandlung Talia jetzt auch dabei. Sagt ihr Talia oder Talia? Ihr könnt es ja mal in die Kommentare schreiben. Also folgt auf jeden Fall den Kanal von Talia, damit ihr nichts verpasst. Ich freue mich auf jeden Fall sehr auf den Monat mit Talia im Book Club.
Yeah, it's all about the community. And Charlotte asked how Talia is spelled or pronounced right. And everybody discussed under the video, and we did a video how to do it right, how to pronounce it right, and everybody was released and said, wow, finally we know how to pronounce Talia. And yeah, it's just an example for the great feedback we got from the community.
Great. So now we're going to have a little Q&A. So basically, yeah, I have some questions for Lisa, just to maybe comment a little bit about on the success. But yeah, basically we mentioned this thing called Book Club earlier. Book Club is basically like a normal book club, but it's just an online version, and it's a community of the people who are interested in reading, but also creators, but also even the publishers. You're all in the mix, and you can be part of these campaigns as a retailer like Talia, but also the creators can be involved, collaborating, and also everyone is engaged. But I wanted to ask Lisa, because obviously you've been on other channels before, what made you interested in being the preferred partner of TikTok on this book club?
Yeah, I think TikTok has realized very early how much potential there is in the BookTok community and how much joy, creativity, and positivity it brings with, which is not taken for granted in social media. And that's why we talked, James and I, very early after we integrated TikTok to our social media strategy. And it clicked instantly between our highly motivated teams right from the start. So there was no discussion about whether to enter this partnership. And I think one important thing is that there are currently engagement rates and user session times that we can only dream of on other platforms. So we wanted to spread book love here as well.
Nice. And what would you recommend for other retailers or publishers who would like to grow on TikTok? What advice would you give them?
I think most of the important things have become clear in our presentation. But for quick tips from me: be brave, be creative, be quick, try out, and keep doing. These are 5, I think. Oh, oops. Yeah, and if you can't do these things, get support from experts, from agencies, creators, or in the best case, from TikTok itself.
Nice. And what do you think your biggest learning is from the book club collaboration?
It was a really tough time, tiring time, and we needed a vacation. But jokes aside, we have learned that working directly with TikTok pays off and that the resources we invested have been worth it. There's often the rumor that it's all about ad spend, and maybe it is, but we would have never achieved such success in such a short period of time without the support from the amazing people from TikTok. So don't be afraid, take a chance and give James a call.
Nice. Cool. So now I think we have some time for Q&A. Maybe I don't need to show the slide just yet because it's maybe nice to both see us. But let me just look through the chat on what questions you have. There's one question here. Could you give me advice as a small publisher how to get started? So obviously Talia is a pretty big player. What I would recommend is that when you start on the platform and you're trying to make an impact, is I think a lot of people, when I first speak to publishers, they're like, okay, we won't do a campaign until we have 50,000 followers. Like that's the mentality we come with because we're so used to only the followers really seeing the content. We need that as a security. Of course, followers are still important on TikTok for sure. But the one thing I would say is it's really amazing what the algorithm does. For example, on my account, I have 100 followers. I've got one video with 1,000 views. I've got another video with 500, but all of a sudden I have a video with 50,000 views. And I'm really bad at a really bad creator. I'm just playing around with the app. So it's a great opportunity that anything can go viral and anyone can go viral. If the algorithm just pushes your content and realizes that people really want to see it. So with readers and books and everything like that, maybe think about that when you start. Make content to increase views rather than making content to increase followers, because followers will come anyway as secondary after you get lots of views. Is there more questions here?
Here's one, what happens to older posts? Will they ever show up again? I have experienced that there are some TikToks which are going viral 3 weeks after we posted it. What do you think, James?
Yeah, it depends. It depends, you know, it can get shared on other platforms. Of course, it's usually more common in the beginning because that's your best chance, but you do see that creatives can all of a sudden get shared somewhere else and then it starts to getting a lot of traffic, but the sky's the limit really. Yeah, it's quite unpredictable, but we're able to guide you as best as possible. We don't have the recipe, by the way, how to go viral, if you're going to ask me that, but we don't have the media plan either, but it's basically, we can guide you on how to do it, how to make creatives properly, how to do the targeting properly, understand who you want to reach, and then you're set up best. Is there another question? What is brand performance? Great question. So brand performance is basically a mix of branding and performance marketing. So for example, we do have a lot of clients who maybe are only interested in e-commerce and they only want to sell books from their website and they want to see results quickly. So basically what we see on TikTok is if you continue doing lower funnel marketing and you only focus on ROAS, it may stagnate after some time. So what we do with a lot of performance clients, even apps where they only want to do installs, as we introduce a slightly a small level of branding on top, which actually is allowing us to reach new people, but then retarget them better in the lower funnel later. And we've got that connection of those two things we call brand performance. and it lowers CPAs and improves ROAS. We have a lot of cases. I think we even have a case around that with Talia, actually, where it really worked really, really well.
Yeah, here was another one. What about non-fiction books? I think every book has the chance, every content has the chance to go viral on TikTok. There was 101 essays by Brianna Weiss. I think it's non-fictional too, and is the BookTok hit. Yeah.
Cool. And maybe one more question. I see, is there any advice finding or choosing creators? So we have a creator marketplace. It's free to use. And basically you can go there, you can check the creators, you can see even how they've performed. You can see how many their engagement rate is, what brands they've collaborated with. You can see their best performing content, and you can use a filter to really filter things based on the interests we spoke about. So I'm not 100% sure if reading is there, but there should be ways you can identify it. Yeah, so if it's one of the interests, it's there. But there you can see based on location, what their values are they family orientated or not? Are they more about education? All of that will be there, and probably fiction and so on as well. So check the TikTok creator marketplace, search it in Google, and you'll be able to see everything there. Great. So just one last thing to show you before we say goodbye. Yeah, just a reminder, the Frankfurter Buchmesse. I hope you're all attending. We're at Hall 4.1 J22. If you want to, and basically there's a new area. It's next to the new Meet the Author area. We have an online program on this link, and we basically have a setup with a TikTok booth, community voting, webinars and lectures, TikTok Book Award ceremony, which is the big event where we'll actually give. We've had this now already in the US and the UK, and now it's in Germany. So this is really, really big. We have authors there receiving awards, and also creators. And also our managing director of DACH will also be present on stage. And we also have a full jury. And I think, Lisa, you're part of the jury, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to be there.
So the award ceremony is on the 21st of the 10th at 6 p.m. And lastly, if you want to take out your phones, there's lots of questions I see in the chat around different things, a lot of specific questions about targeting, small budgets, large budgets, everything's there. So if you want to reach out to me, my email is here, and we can arrange an appointment. I won't, unfortunately, be at the fair this year, but I'm able to set up a call with any of you anytime. So let me know, and we can provide you with a TikTok playbook and everything else you need to get started, or if you're already started, how we can improve things and take things to the next level. So yeah, that was the end of the webinar. Thank you so much for joining. We wish you all an amazing week. Hope to see you soon. And if you haven't downloaded the app, download it. I'm telling you, a lot of this will make a lot more sense, and start playing with it. Let the app learn about you. You'll be surprised how quick it does. And yeah, hope to see you at the fair. And if not, send me a mail and we can catch up soon.
Thank you very much.